Okay, I'm going to show you a tool that's pretty slick. It deals with deleting duplicate elements. And then I'm also going to talk about compressing the design. Um, there's issues that come about when you have duplicate elements, and there's a tool that we have out there. It's under the utilities pull down that's been out there for a while, and it really can't help you out. It's called the data cleanup. So utilities pull down data cleanup. When I open it up, I get the dialog, and it has 4 tabs across the top. This first one being kind of a preferences tab. The second one's the one I'm worried about. This is the one I want to use, the duplicates tab. In this tab, you've got an action. What do you want to do with the duplicates that you find out there? Well, you could do nothing with them, and it just gives you a report that how many duplicates are out there, or you can delete them, as you go along. I like to use the select so I can see what I'm actually finding out there. So I'll do that. I'll create a selection set of all the duplicates. Also, it wants to know the element types. Well, I like to use them all because I want to see all the different element types and have them all selected, even if they're duplicates there. And then it's going to want to match. What do you want to match? Your level, color, style, weight, or user data. I'm going to pick the level and color. Okay, so now once I have this information in the duplicates tabs selected, all I have to do is hit the apply button. And what you're going to do is watch this message center, and then over here you'll see the element selection tool. You'll see elements pop up there. So I'm going to hit the apply button. It's going to search my design file, and it comes up and it says the cleanup's finished. There's 81 duplicates out here, but there's really only 27 elements to select. So all we need to do now at this point is go ahead and delete them. Now, the reason I pick select is sometimes when you're doing like cross-section files, you may want to know what you are actually having duplicates of. So I will take it sometimes and do a copy and move the elements out and kind of get an idea of what they are. In this case, I know it's just all this edge of pavement and edge of shoulder, so I'm just going to delete the extras, the duplicates. Okay, so I use the delete tool. They're all gone. Now to check it, make sure there's still no duplicates out there, I can run the tool one more time and watch my message center and see what happens. It's finished. It says no duplicates. There's no element selection, so that's been a success. All we want to do now is save the file. But before we save it, I'd like to compress the design myself because we've placed items out there. We've done some manipulations. We've undid some stuff. We've put duplicates out there. We've built this file starts growing in file size, even if we go out and delete a bunch of elements. They're not there, but the legacy data holds on to it. So when you compress the design, it kind of purges all that information and gives it a fresh start. So that's what I'm going to do here. It's going to pop up an alert asking me if it is okay to do this. That's what I want to do, so I'll hit OK. And now the file's been compressed, and you can see down here in your message center that that's what's happened. Okay, so now I would do a file save and update to server copy, or in my case, I'm going to move over to this cross-section file and do it as on the fly. So when it pops up my dialog for saving, I will say yes, and I will check in the file. That brings me to the cross-section tool. I'm going to close this design file cleanup tool for right now. It brings me into my cross-section tool. I've ran some cross-sections out here. I got existing. I shouldn't have any duplicates whatsoever in here. So what happens in Roadway Designer, we go out, we create our existing, and then we get out of MicroStation, we come back in, we place our proposed, just because of the bug that we currently have. After you place your proposed, what you want to do is do a file compress and do our file compress design. The reason I'm doing this is because at this point I'm ready to place labels out here. Okay, I'm going to use the labeler tool to place labels. If I didn't compress and I placed my labels right after I placed my proposed, and I want to add a label or modify labels, and I undo it so I can place new labels, what may happen sometimes is this proposed go away. So you do an undo, the text not only goes away, or the labels not only go away, but also the proposed cross sections go away. So that's kind of a hassle. You have to bring the tool back up and replace your proposed. So to avoid that happening, you just simply, after you place your proposed, you go File, Compress, Design. And now that the file's compressed, it purges that undo memory. So now it starts a new mark right here. So now if I go out and I want to do my cross-section labeling, and I go out and find the file that I have, the XLP file, cross-section labeling preference file, I wrote one, and I draw my labels, which it'll take a couple seconds. As you can see down here in the message center, it's saying cross-section labeling processing. So it's going to go through, process all my labels for me, places the labels, it tells me it's complete. I go out and I add a label, but when I add it to my tool, I have to undo all the labels that are out here. So now when I do an undo, it gets rid of just the labels. It doesn't get rid of my proposed. So that's a nice little handy feature. So again, after you place your proposed cross sections, simply do a file compress design, and that'll save you a little bit of trouble. Thank you.